Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back, and we getting back into Love Island series 11 episode 40. Yeah, and we know it's come to the ultimate decision for Lola. Who's she gonna steal, Joey or Ruben? But before we get into this episode, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know I'm on and do videos. Please comment, like, share and do all the good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1k. Okay, right, let's get into this video. So Jessie is proper bricking it, like honestly bricking it, because Joey has not given her any reassurance, and basically she is literally thinking that she's going to take Joey, she's going to be dumped from the island basically. But then if she did take Joey, it wouldn't just be her that's dumped from the island, it would be Ruben too at the end of the day, because they ain't picking, only the bombshells are picking. They ain't picking anybody else at that point in time. But Lola does truly shock everybody, because lo and behold, she chooses Ruben. Joey looked fully shocked because he looked like he wanted to be chosen. Jessie was fully shocked as well. Don't understand why she was so shocked that Joey was not picked at the end of the day. Basically, Jessie is trying to say that she is shocked because of everything that she'd heard in regards to Joey not shutting shit down with Lola, Joey being very flirty with Lola. He was doing all of that. But Lola picked it on the basis of that she was having better talks with Ruben. Her talks were a lot deeper. Like, Ruben is quite of a deep soul at the end of the day, and he gets turned on more intellectually than it is with this flirty banter back and forth that Joey does at the end of the day. So Lola has her head fully screwed on and can see the bullshit from a mile off and knows the mess that is Joey, so she kept well away from that situation, like well away. So Joey turned around to Jessie and basically said, "That's why I told you to trust me." I was like, no, my love, not pull that card right now. Don't pull that card with Jessie, because we all saw what you did. Yeah, we all saw what you did, and you was expecting to be picked too. You was expecting that this girl was going to be a baddie. She didn't want to deal with the fucked upness of you and Jessie at the end of the day. She didn't want to deal with all of that. Yeah, because we've seen how jealous Jessie can get. No girl is going to want to deal with that. Okay? So she left it well enough alone. So Joey and Jessie basically look like they're at loggerheads with the result of the steals, and like they need to sort their shit out at the end of the day. Joey's asking Jessie, "Why are you getting so stressed for?" And Jessie told him there is a reason why I got so stressed. I said, yeah, the reason was Joey at the end of the day, and what he had been saying to Lola, and then what was brought back to you. But at the end of the day, Jessie said that she was not insecure in her relationship with Joey. End of the day, Jessie was warning Lola, in other words, in terms of saying, Joey don't want you. He just hasn't, like, you know, he can be quite flirty and all this, giving all the excuses under the sun for this man. Lola made her own decision of what she wanted to do. Grace and Ruben do hug each other as the picking has finished, just before Ruben goes and has his chat with Lola. Joey is basically saying to Jessie, don't let people get into your head, and automatically says that Lola came in and fancied him. And again, this is another experience of where Joey fails to take responsibility for how he came across to Lola. Joey has a tendency to blame the women for his actions. Basically, Joey, in my humble estimations, and this is just my opinion, is a man that cannot be trusted. He's a man that's quite manipulative, like really manipulative, and it's showing time and time again. This man gets caught out in his lies, or caught out in making a woman feel a certain way, and instead of apologizing, reassuring and ensuring it doesn't happen again, he literally blames the woman. He puts the blame onto the woman. It's not his fault at the end of the day. Lola came in and fancied him. No. But Joey won't accept responsibility that actually he gave Lola the green light to come for him. Let's just put that out there. So Jessie basically thinks something is different, and Joey says that he's not interested. with Lola at the end of the day, and if he was going to move to her, he would have been moving to her. And I was like, mate, you were moving to her anyway. Joey was moving to her anyway, but got knocked back by the choice that Lola made at the end of the day. Got knocked back over Lola picking Ruben of all people. Remember, he's already in loggerheads with Ruben over Grace. This man don't know. Joey don't know when to quit. Like, really don't know when to quit. Joey keeps on thinking he can compete with some of these men up in here, and he really can't. Like, he really can't compete with them. I think he wanted Lola to choose him. He did want Lola to choose him. So Grace pulls Harry for a chat, and Harry was basically talking about how nervous he was. So then you see the chat goes back to Jesse and Joey. So Jesse and Joey are having a discussion, and basically Jesse is saying to Joey to make him understand her feelings, that no other girl that was sat up there was nervous that another girl would pick their man, and she's asking Joey why he decided to leave it open. I'm like, Joey ain't gonna answer that question truthfully at all. He ain't gonna answer that question truthfully. In my estimations, Jesse needs to stop explaining it to Joey as to where her feelings are, because Joey don't care. He ain't gonna accept no responsibility. He's pro at dodging all of that, like pro at dodging it. So as you see, as their conversation goes off, you see Jesse like forgives him easily because he starts smizing and smiling and doing his little jokey apology, but he don't really mean it. He really don't. So you see Harry and Grace, it goes back to Harry and Grace having their conversation. And basically Grace is saying that she didn't know where it could go. Basically she stood by what she said in terms of getting to know other people. She does say that she is and will be close to Ruben at the end of the day. Harry said he wasn't going to pick anyone else at all for him. It was Grace at the end of the day. As I said, I don't think Grace is feeling Harry in any way, shape or form, to be honest with you. So then we go to Lola and Ruben having a conversation. And basically she's sharing with Ruben that she thought that everyone was expecting her to pick Joey. Lola basically said, as I've already mentioned, it was based on the conversations that she'd had with both of them, with both Ruben and Joey. A woman likes a man that's a little bit deeper and not like a little dickweed, who shows service level conversation, which is what Joey does. There's no depth to Joey in the slightest. From what he's shown in the villa so far, there's no depth to that man in the slightest. So that's why I don't understand how women go for him. The only thing I can think of that women go for him is for his looks and for his name. That's about it. That's the selling point for them until you actually get to know the man, and he's a fucking dickhead. He really is. He is. So Ruben basically says to Lola that they were quite similar, and there's stuff that they could build upon, and that he liked Lola's energy and he was happy to see where it goes. So Josh wanted to talk to Nicole about the game and basically what he'd said about her. So Nicole is confused about the comment that Josh made about the arrogance, and basically said that sometimes their relationship that they have, Nicole and Kieran's relationship, can breed a different type of arrogance. And that's where he was coming from and that. And I thought, yeah, that was a bullshit answer, like a proper bullshit answer, because he asked you to talk about a person that was, to kiss the person that you believed was arrogant. I don't think Nicole was arrogant at the end of the day. Josh could have picked anyone else to name a few than Nicole and Kieran at the end of the day in terms of arrogance. Yes, they're going to be slightly more elevated than the rest, because at the end of the day they've managed to work for a whole lot of bullshit to get where they are right now at the end of the day. Basically Nicole did kind of get upset, and you could see Kieran across the way was watching her in regards to the conversation that she was having with Josh. So you see Ayo decide to go and speak to Kieran. So Kieran pulled Ayo up about his comment in regards to Nicole. So Ayo said in his head, he changed the question to who loves all of this and would love to be in the final. And I was like, Bish, please. You're answering by your actions with the game, you are answering the question. You can't change the damn question in your head, because nobody knows that you've changed that question in your ass head. Do you know what I mean? So At the end of the day, these people are pulling excuses out of their jacksy right now. They should stand on ceremony as to why they picked the people and why they did it at the end of the day, and give those explanations as to why. Because I don't understand. I don't understand how you can change that question in your head. Like, who's desperate to get to the final? I don't think Nicole and Kieran, yes, they probably want to get to the final like everybody else in that place at the end of the day, but there's more people in there who are more desperate than them two that you could have picked out. So it came to bedtime, and Jessica was basically said that Jessie broke her heart at that still, as she was nearly in tears. And I'm like, well, who put her in that position, mate? It weren't Lola. It was Joey who put her in that position at the end of the day. Nobody else. And he's the only one that can answer for it, and he won't. So Joey is talking to Ayo and saying the only person that he cares about in a sense of feelings is Jessie. I really don't see that at all. I think Jessie has more feelings for Joey than Joey has for Jessie at the end of the day. I feel like it's very much a one-sided relationship. Joey's going to continue to play in her face to see how much he can get away with, and Jessie's allowing him to get away with a gamut of stuff. So he ain't going to leave her at the end of the day. He really isn't. Grace says that she feels okay with the picks at the moment, but basically said that she will continue to get to know Ruben. That's not going to stop her in the slightest. Lola was sitting there listening to the conversations that were happening, and I'm like, these girls are talking about Lola like she ain't there. For example, Grace saying, I thought Lola was going to pick Joey, and Jessie was saying me too. And I'm like, the girl's right there. She sat right there, like taking her makeup off, getting ready for bed, and you're talking to her like she's a piece of furniture, or talking about her like she's a piece of furniture and can't hear what the fuck you're saying at the end of the day, which I find hella disrespectful. So then it comes to the daytime. So Harry asked Joey about his chat with Jessie. Now Joey wanted to be clear and clear it all up with Lola and say basically what it is that he meant by what he said to her. So I was like, Joey's a full of shit. He was leading Lola down that merry path and was hoping that she would fall for it the same way Jessie fell for it. Yeah, the same way Jessie fell for it and pick him. That's what Joey was hoping for, because that's the game he played already previously. So we then have Grace saying that she thinks Lola played it safe with Ruben, because Lola was basically saying that her type was Joey and Harry. And I was like, well, maybe Lola wanted to change from the damn norm at the end of the day. I mean, Grace can't really chat when it comes to Joey, bearing in mind, like, you know, she wanted Josh before she got to know Ruben. Like, she really can't chat on that sense. So Ruben basically wants to make sure the feeling is mutual with Grace. And Grace is basically saying that she wants Ruben fully. So you see Ruben having a chat with Lola. And basically Lola's saying that she gets it, but she doesn't feel any way with him getting to know Grace. And basically Ruben is saying that, you know, he does find Lola attractive, but where he's at was more so with Grace in that sense. And you could see that at the end of the day. Ruben was not liking it one bit that he was separated from Grace. I think he was just giving lip service to Lola. He wasn't really going to go and actually put himself out there for her. Ruben does tell Lola he really wants to get to know Grace, but he's open. But before that, he was telling Josh that he knows exactly where his heart is. So my thing is, you can't tell these people that you are open when you know that your heart is with someone else and at another place with someone else, because it's not fair to them at the end of the day, because they're going to try and breathe their all into you when you actually don't want that. So it's also the fact that he growled in Grace's ear when they were walking out, when she was getting dressed, that he missed her feet digging into him at night time. So that's what I'm saying. It's not open. It's not open at all. These people give me whiplash. I ain't joking. I have whiplash all up in my neck from going here, there and everywhere with these people and their emotions and their lies with the people that they think that they're coupled off with. It's just, it's too much. It's too much. So Lola goes to Joey for a chat and basically wants to clear the air, because Lola is basically thinking that things have been blown out of proportion. Joey basically says that he's an open book, and I'm like, my God, you are not an open book. My God, if people opened that book, there'll be one paragraph that says, I, Joey, is open and honest, or telling the lads to do X, Y, and Z. Joey is not an open book in the slightest. That man lies his way through, lies his way through in order to get one gal to believe everything that comes out of his mouth, like seriously. So Joey was not as honest with Lola as he should have been at the end of the day. So for me, Joey has too many excuses. I don't understand why these two are talking about being open, and I don't understand why the meaning of being open to getting to know someone now has two different meanings. Because if you want to be friends with someone, you would say that, wouldn't you? You would say that I just want to be friends with you because I'm not fully open to getting to know you in any other way. Because being open literally means I am open to getting to know you in order to see where this can go between us, to order to see if there's a connection between us. So this meaning of being open between them two, like, literally has me losing brain cells that these people are so dumb. Like, seriously, Joey said in his head, he's never started nothing with Lola. So Lola said, well, maybe you should have shut it down. And I was like, go on with that, Lola. Let him know. But Joey still stated that he wasn't close to Jesse and all of that. And I was like, someone please dash this man away, please. Like, seriously, dash the man away, because he ain't no good. Like, seriously not no good. And then a text comes in. And you know what happens when texts come in, especially during the day. It's either a date, it's a challenge, or some other bullshit's about to go afoot for the night time. So basically it was a challenge, and it was couple goals. And I was like, oh, well, damn, this is not going to go well at all. So Sean and Matilda were hosting, and it's a series of questions, and the couples had to write the names of the other couples on their board, basically. So first question was, which couple would you most want to double date with? Kieran and Nicole said Sean and Matilda. I was like, yeah, dude, Sean will get on my tits after 5 minutes, or probably less than that, to be honest with you. I wouldn't double date with them for the price of freaking bread at the end of the day. Lola and Ruben said Nicole and Kieran. Ayo and Jessica said Grace and Harry. Grace and Harry said Jessica and Ayo. Jesse and Joey said Sean and Matilda. Mimi and Josh said Sean and Matilda. I have to admit I was shocked by that one, especially how Sean's been giving off this vibe of weirdness in the villa towards Mimi and towards Josh at the end of the day. And then Sean and Matilda said they'd most like to double date with Kieran and Nicole. So the next one was, which couple are the most argumentative? Basically, I could do this with my eyes closed. If you're going by all the episodes, I would say Nicole and Kieran. If you're going by the here and now, I would either say Jesse and Joey or Jessica and Ayo. Kieran and Nicole said Joey and Jesse. Fair dues, because that's what I felt as well. Ruben and Lola said Nicole and Kieran. Ayo and Jessica, Nicole and Kieran. Grace and Harry, Nicole and Kieran. Fair dues. Joey and Jesse said Sean and Matilda. I was like, that was kind of a stupid pick, because at the end of the day, they've only had one argument, and that was to do with the shit that happened with Casa Amor at the end of the day. So other than that, they've not really been a piecemeal couple at the end of the day. They've not really had arguments the way that Nicole and Kieran have had. So that one was a stupid pick. Mimi and Josh said Jesse and Joey. I could see why they said Jesse and Joey, and I was in agreement with that at the end of the day. Matilda and Sean said Jessica and Ayo. And I was like, they've not really had arguments though. And the argument that they did have was caused by Sean and his bullshit. So Sean wouldn't stop digging at Jessica, yeah. And to be fair, as I said, Ayo and Jessica haven't actually argued fully. So Sean again brings up the Mimi and Ayo situation. And rightfully so, Jessica said, but Sean, you was the one that caused the argument there. Which he did. On top of the information that Jessica got from Matilda caused an issue too. Yeah. Sean just needs to shut his mouth. Like, seriously shut his mouth. So you see, as the camera pans back, you see that Jessica whispers to Ayo and says that Sean needs to leave it. And I says, Jessica was right. Sean is too much up in other people's business. And again, as I said, I agree that Ayo and them have not argued. It was about who is the argumentative couple. Sean just wanted to dig them out again. That's what he needs to do. It ain't funny now. It's gone beyond the joke. Like this bullshit that Sean keeps bringing up. It literally has gone beyond the joke. So Jessica, I actually like Jessica from this. I do like Jessica. She turned around in her VC and she said Sean wears Joey's arsehole as a hat, and he does, because everything that Joey is saying Sean needs to parrot, like all the time throughout these episodes. This is all you see, that Sean is parroting everything that Joey is saying. Like seriously, like he's his backup hound dog, and I'm thinking, what does this man have over you that every time you need to wear his ass as a glove and make his mouth speak? Like seriously, what the fuck is going on there? So the next one was, which couple gives you the biggest ick? And if I was picking, I would have had to say Matilda and Sean or Joey and Jesse, to be fair. So Kieran and Nicole said Jessica and Ayo. I was like, oh, okay, all right, okay. Ruben and Lola said Grace and Harry. Ruben wants Grace, and what a way to let the girl you're coupled up with say it, my guy. Like, you let Lola say it. So Ruben said, I feel like I'm looking at two beam poles and two lampposts, as the other couples are physical and they're not. And I'm like, my guy, they've literally only coupled up for one fucking night, mate. What do you think Grace is going to do with this dude, seriously? Especially when she said that she wanted Ruben at the end of the day. So Grace got mad by that. And she said, I don't have to put my hand all over Harry while we're playing a game. But if that's what you want to do, then you have a way of it. And the camera pans to where Ruben's hand is on Lola's waist. And I was like, yeah. It's not my business. Game, set, and match. Grace had you, Ruben. She had you with that one. Ruben liked it though. I think sometimes Ruben likes to pick at Grace. When it came to this game, I think Ruben wanted to antagonise Grace a little bit to get that ire on him, because I think it turns him on. Like the way he was looking at her after she said what she said, I think it well and truly turns him on. So I saw you, Ruben. I saw you. So Jessie asked Ruben, would you prefer to see Harry and Grace more touchy-feely? Ruben looked like a dumbass when he said no. So Grace then said with Chester, shut the fuck up then. But as again, Ruben liked it. Ruben loved that comeback. Do you think Ruben was upset by Grace saying that? No. That turned that dude on fully. Like fully. So Ayo and Jessica said Sean and Matilda. And Ayo said that Sean is kind of jarring. And I'm like, okay, so these people are holding nothing back against each other no more at the end of the day. So Sean had the audacity to ask, well, what does jarring mean? It means annoying, my guy. It means you are an annoying person. And right now you're jarring the hell out of me. That's what it means. So Sean wanting Ayo's reasons as to why he was annoying. So again, Ayo says, out of everyone who has the most comments, is this man here, as in Sean. And I'm like, yes, he's telling the truth, because all the time Sean wants to keep talking about Mimi's feelings, like Mimi told him what she felt when she didn't. But this time I want Mimi to talk up for herself at this time and shut shit down, like seriously, because right now Mimi was being kind of quiet, but I know there's going to come a time where Mimi is going to bite, because she's going to be fed up of the bullshit that's coming out of Joey and Sean's mouth at the end of the day. So now Sean again decided to draw Jessica in, decided to draw Mimi in, and decided to draw Joss into the conversation. And now we're done with it fully, because Sean don't know when to stop. Mimi did talk up and say that is not how it played out, to be fair. Jessica then said, so if Mimi told you something in confidence, because this is where Sean's trying to say he got his information from, because Mimi sat down and had this conversation with him about how he felt, about how she felt about Ayo. And I was like, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. I didn't see that in the slightest, unless they didn't show it. But I don't see how the producers would not have shown that little tidbit of information. It was Ayo having conversations with Sean and with Joey about his feelings for Mimi, and Ayo indicating that Mimi felt X, Y, and Z about him because that's what he felt. So unless Sean took it from there that, you know what, him and Mimi had those conversations in confidence, I don't see that happening in the slightest. So basically Jessica was right in the fact that if Mimi told you something in confidence, then why are you drawing her out right now? And I was just like, yeah, shut your full on Clark, Sean from here. I don't think, as again, Mimi told him any such thing, and if she did, it was way before Josh came in at the end of the day. Ayo then got mad and said it was done between him and Mimi. So Matilda then spoke up and said, sweet, let's leave it there. And I was like, yeah, your man, Matilda, needs to shut up. Like, seriously shut his mouth, because he's not doing himself any Ross favours by keep going on and on and on and on about it. My man needs to actually sit down and apologise to Mimi and make it believable at the end of the day. He needs to apologise to Josh. He needs to apologise to Ayo. He needs to apologise for Jessica for his part in the mess that he has caused. Like, he has really caused. And what I am surprised about is that Sean and Joey have not drawn Ayo out in regards to what he has said to them. So Grace and Harry ended up and said, Jesse and Joey. Josh and Mimi said Joey and Jesse. Matilda and Sean went for Ruben and Matilda. And I was just like, went for Ruben and Lola, I should say. And I was just like, again, them two have not been together but a day. So it comes to which couple are the most smug. Kieran and Nicole said Joey and Jesse. And the funniest thing came after Joey said to Jesse, I feel we're going to get it. And Jesse said, no way. And I thought, well, you are. You two are quite smug at the end of the day. Ruben and Lola said Joey and Jesse. No explanations needed because we see them. Ruben did say that Jesse isn't treated as ideally as she should be. Joey actually asked, by who? You, my guy. Joey can't be that dense. You, my guy. You don't treat her as good as she should be. So Ruben turned around and said, well, who do you think? So Joey didn't ask, what do you mean by ideally? So Ruben basically called Joey out on publicly disrespecting the girl. Joey forgets Ruben has watched his game that he's done with Lola and has basically watched his show before he comes in and saw the game that Joey was playing, like fully playing, not just with Grace but with Jesse as well. Joey don't accept no negative criticism at all. He always has to back and say, well, sometimes Joey needs to shut his mouth too. So Jessica and Ayo picked Kieran and Nicole. And Kieran turned around and said, fuck yeah, we're smug. And I thought, that's the correct way in taking that. At the end of the day, their boyfriend and girlfriend said, yeah, they're going to be a little bit smug because they'll be like, look where we are and look where you are. Do you know what I mean? So Grace and Harry picked Kieran and Nicole. I thought if Grace was still with Ruben, I would have said them two too. Like, because Grace can be hella smug at times, like hella smug. So Joey and Jesse said Nicole and Kieran, but both Nicole and Kieran are just proper unbothered by it all. Mimi and Josh said Sean and Matilda. And I thought, well, to be fair, Sean can be a bit of a smug arsehole too. So Sean had an issue and Josh literally said, it's a you problem. It's not a me problem, it's a you problem. It is literally becoming, at the moment, Ayo, Jessica and Mimi and Josh against Sean. Like, seriously, because Sean don't know when to shut his mouth. So Matilda and Sean said Kieran, Nicole. So it says, which couple are the least honest with their feelings? Now, I would have said Grace and Harry, Ruben and Lola, Jesse and Joey. So Kieran and Nicole went for Mimi and Josh. And I thought that's a bit odd because Mimi and Josh have been quite open with their feelings, to be fair. Josh ain't hid nothing and neither's Mimi. Kieran talked about Mimi and her feelings for Ayo, and I was like, why do you lot feel the need to keep bringing this shit up again and again and again? Say something different. Like, really say something different. So basically they jumped on the issue, like with Josh with Grace, and the fact that, you know, he kissed Grace and basically said that, basically was going on the proviso of what Josh had said in the pie game, basically. So Josh said, if I wanted to crack on with Grace, I would have said there were no feelings there at all. And then I just thought, well, you know what, you didn't do yourself justice, my friend, when you kissed her in the damn snog marry pie game, dude. Like, you didn't do yourself any justice in that. So Ruben and Lola said Mimi and Josh. And again, I will say that Mimi and Josh have shared their feelings. And I'm just like, Mimi especially couldn't hide, because people kept throwing this shit up in her face 24/7, 7 days a freaking week at the end of the day. And I think them picking Mimi and Josh is an absolute freaking cop out, like serious cop out. So A and Jessica said Ruben and Lola. And basically they said that, you know, Ruben wants Grace but ain't told Lola or Grace that. And it's true. So Ruben hasn't been particularly honest in regards to his feelings for Grace and what he wants. He doesn't necessarily want Lola. He wants Grace back at the end of the day. So Grace and Harry picked Josh and Mimi. And I'm like, come on with this bullshit. Again, if Mimi and Josh didn't share their feelings, then no one will know where Mimi and Josh stood at the end of the day. They do talk. They talk about everything. And what's pissing me off is no one, as usual, is calling out Ayo for his dishonesty in everything that happens. So, like, bypassing Jessica and Ayo to keep picking and drawing out Mimi and Josh. And I don't know what for. So Joey and Jessie said Josh and Mimi. And Jessie said that Jessie had the cheek to say, maybe at one point your feelings were not clear with each other. When? Is Jessie and Joey in their relationship? Like, seriously, what Jessie needs to do is concentrate on the bullshit that is Joey at the end of the day, because it's Joey that isn't being true to Jessie in the slightest. He ain't opening up his mouth to say what the fuck he's saying up in this place at all. So basically Mimi does turn around and say that their feelings have been clear, but we don't have to chat with every single person that is in the villa. And that's what I mean, mind your business. Mimi is the type of person where she doesn't necessarily draw herself out and chat her thoughts to people in that place. And the reason, and I think this is why the reason why she doesn't do it, because each time she does, people want to freaking use her words and draw her out into bullshit, into full-on bullshit, which she don't like. Then Joey jumped in and said they haven't been honest. And I'm just like, how can, and Josh turns around and says, how can you tell me we haven't been honest? I mean, have you been there? Like, seriously? And it was at this point I knew that Joey was going to bring up the bullshit of the terrace when there was nothing to bring up about it at the end of the day, but he was going to make it an issue. He really was. I could see it coming. So Mimi and Josh picked Ruben and Lola, and Josh said Ruben still wants Grace, and Lola, if she went with her heart, she would have picked Joey. But she didn't want to pick Joey because it would upset some people. And there's Josh being honest to Bumba. Like, there is Josh being honest. And I'm like, Josh and Mimi and the others now are really not playing with these fuckers up in here at the end of the day. So you see Lola was getting irate. And I'm like, but yet yous wanted to call Mimi and Josh out with venom. So when they come back at you, you need to sit there and take it, my girl. Take it. So Matilda and Sean picked Lola and Ruben. So they said, which couple are the biggest game players? I would have picked Jessie and Joey. It's the only option I would have picked at the end of the day. Joey is not in that villa for any true intentions. And in my opinion, I kind of think he's had enough of Jessie. I think he's playing with Jessie at the end of the day to make it to the final. I really believe that Joey is a plant in this villa, like proper plant in this villa. I don't think he's there under the guise of finding love any way, shape or form at the end of the day. So Kieran and Nicole picked Ruben and Lola. Ruben and Lola picked Joey and Jessie. Again, as Ruben brings up Joey, he talks about him not liking him with Grace. Like, not Joey is not liking Ruben with Grace. Joey, of course, had something to say, but it's the truth, because actions speak louder than words. And Grace asked him, but why is my name constantly in your mouth? And I thought that is a good question. Joey is feeling some kind of way that he is not Grace's type. Grace loves her big black and brown men, and Joey ain't it. At the end of the day, Joey cannot compete where he cannot compare at the end of the day. And that's what's getting him, like fully getting him, and it's spinning him. It's spinning that man's head like no one's business. Joey really said to Ruben, or really said to Grace, that you're running around with these boys and not giving them the same energy as you gave me. And I was like, and there we have it, people. There we have it, people. In 4K, Joey is feeling Grace. He is watching that girl so much that he is proper comparing, like seriously comparing how Grace was with him initially to how she is now. And I'm like, Jesse, you can't see that. Like, seriously, you can't see how this man is behaving right now. So Ayo and Jessica put Jesse and Joey as well, and basically said that they believe that Joey is playing some kind of game. I believe it too, wholeheartedly. It was Jesse and Joey said Ruben and Lola. That was telling because Jesse likes to go for Ruben every chance he gets. Mimi and Josh said Joey and Jesse. Grace and Harry said Joey and Jesse. Sean and Matilda went for Josh and Mimi. Of course they would, because Joey and Sean, as Josh said, are antagonists up in this villa. They really are. They like to antagonise people with their rubbish. So it says, which couple is most likely to have their heads turned? I would have went Joey or the motherfucking way. Like, seriously. So before it starts, Joey says, I know something no one else knows in here. And I was like, really, Joey? This is what he's saying to Jesse. And then this is where I knew he was going to come up with this secret mission bullshit. And I swear to God, if he did, I was so tempted. I wanted to jump through the screen and slap this man up myself. Like, seriously, because I'm tired of him going for Mimi all the fucking time. Like, seriously. And Mimi went to him in confidence to say, all I want to do is have a talk with Ayo, away from prying eyes, so we can dead things in. That's all she wanted to do, was to end things with Ayo, like to literally have their discussion so they can literally draw a line in the sand between the both of them. And that's all she wanted to do. And yes, she made the faux pas of getting that fucking fool to implement her plan for her. It weren't no secret mission. Like, seriously, it was no secret mission. Joey used those words to make it more dramatific than it freaking was at the end of the day. Yeah. And also on the flip side, Mimi did make the wrong decision in order to have a chat with Ayo up there, because it was a little bit bait, and I think she got that at the end of the day. She got that. So Kieran and Nicole said Grace and Harry. Lola and Ruben said Grace and Harry. Jessica and Ayo said Lola and Ruben. Grace and Harry said Ruben and Lola. Jesse and Joey said Josh and Mimi. And this is where Joey definitely opens up his mouth and brings up this secret mission. And I said, I knew the backstabbing creature would go there. So Mimi took the power away from Joey and said, actually, I will tell you what he's talking about, basically. So she turned around and she said, I wanted a conversation with Ayo away from everyone. And I wanted to speak to him on the terrace, so I got Joey to come and go get him, basically. So this automatically get Josh's back up, as to say, when you didn't tell me. I said, yeah, because Joey put this information out on purpose. And the way how Joey is trying to paint it is as though there was some kind of little rendezvous going on between Mimi and Ayo, when that was not the case at all. So basically Jesse spoke up and said, well, our answer more implied that Josh. Joey was peeved by that. And something had to change the conversation, as Joey was literally being an absolute arsewipe towards Mimi. So Joey the dickhead decides to say it was a secret mission and he won't tell anyone about it because it was a secret mission. And I thought, what was the secret mission, Joey? Because Joey failed to realise that Mimi already told people what the mission was about. She wanted to go speak to Ayo without everyone watching them. And that's what I discussed in my last episode. Yes, it was the worst decision she could have made to involve petty Joey in it and to have that conversation with Ayo, but it had nothing to do with Mimi having her head turned in any way, shape or form. And that's what Jessica brought up as well at the end of the day. So it was Ayo in good stead that turned around and says, now we can tell her to calm down and we'll have that conversation in front of it, like downstairs, which she did. She didn't make no bones about it. She did. But Joey wanted to make bones about it. So Mimi and Josh put Grace and Harry. Harry said Jesse basically didn't shut him down when they were having a conversation. But I beg to differ. She did actually shut Harry down. But I think Harry was just trying to cause a ruckus with Joey to get the flack away from Mimi and Josh at the end of the day. It's just proper pettiness level 101. So Matilda and Sean picked Harry and Grace, and then it came to the night time, and I was like, thank God that game had finished. And Mimi is right that all of the things that were brought up would impact on Josh, as basically Mimi is saying that she doesn't want, she wasn't looking to make Josh out to look like an idiot, and that's what Joey and Sean was doing in regards to making something out of nothing, basically. So Jessica wanted to know, when she was speaking to Ayo, what this secret mission was. And I'm like, well, it didn't happen, to be fair. And Ayo, as again, to be fair to him, didn't go to where Mimi was. It was an innocent chat that they both needed to have and put everything to bed, basically. So I was now telling Kieran that Jessica didn't know anything, as nothing happened. And I said, this is why Joey is a see next Tuesday for what he said in that game. He really is. So everyone is kind of mad at Joey right now, and that includes Grace. And she's also pissed at Ruben in regards to what Ruben said. So Mimi has a conversation with Joey and basically lets Joey know that what he did was irritating, because it wasn't a secret mission, and it wasn't. She said in him putting those words out like that gives it a connotation that something untoward was going on. But again, it could, the decision making on Mimi's part was poor, and it could have been taken differently by someone else if they had caught them on the terrace, and if Ayo had gone to the terrace. And she does recognise that too. She recognised her part that could have been played in that. And basically she told Joey it was specifically to have an honest conversation in private to air things out one-on-one with Ayo. So Joey then says that when he opened the door and Mimi was sitting there seductively, and I'm like, people always want to come with that highly sexual shit on others. Mimi was sitting normally on the floor. She was not waiting with her legs akimbo or anything like that, or lounging in any sort of way. She was sitting there normally on the floor waiting to speak to Ayo. And again, Joey gets it wrong, and Mimi has to point out to him how Joey got that wrong, basically. So basically Mimi told Joey there is nothing like that going on. The chapter is done between her and Ayo. And basically Mimi did draw him out and said that she considered Joey a good friend in the villa. And I was like, okay, so she's used past tense, so her friendship might be done with Joey in that sense. Joey does the little laughing apologise and say he doesn't want Mimi not to like him because of what he did. Mimi does laugh, and basically she does forgive him, but I'm like, she shouldn't forget, because Joey is literally going to be an arsehole to her again. Mark my words, he will. All I would say is for Mimi to keep her cards close to her chest, because Joey and Sean have shown that they cannot be trusted with any type of information in the slightest. So Harry and Grace have a conversation, and basically she said that within the game it was easier to go for newer couples. Everyone talking about the game, and people were pissed. Harry made it obvious that he wants Grace, and he don't want to speak to Ruben, basically, because Grace was saying, well, don't you want to have a conversation with Ruben in any which way? And Harry was like, I don't feel no need to. So Ayo and Jessica have a chat, and Ayo does explain to Jessica that he should have told her basically what was happening, and basically he felt that if Jessica does trust him, he didn't see it as an issue, and if it did become an issue, then he would have had that conversation with her. So Jessica basically asked him, are you telling me now because of what happened in a challenge? And Ayo said no. And I'm like, of course you are, mate. Don't say no, because at the end of the day, if the case was you were not going to tell Jessica, or if you were going to tell Jessica, you would have done it day dot, but you didn't. It came out in the challenge, which caused Ayo to have to do damage control with Jessica, and of course have those conversations with her. So Ayo did tell her that nothing came up of it at the end of the day. Otherwise he would have had those conversations with her if something else was to come up. So Mimi and Josh do have the conversation, and basically she sits there, she honestly tells Josh that I've already told you that I wanted to have this discussion with Ayo. Because she was sat on the floor on the terrace, Joey took it elsewhere, and her intentions were to clear the air, basically, to clear up loose ends, and they did that. And basically Josh was fine with it, because he was like, as long as, like, you know, you ain't telling me anything differently, or I'm not going to hear anything differently, or nothing else is coming of it. That's it, end of. Happy. So she was like, okay. So then Josh turns around, as he does, to go and call Joey for a chat. Now my thing is, Josh needs to start beginning to believe the word of Mimi, because Mimi is not showing him in any way, shape or form that she's going to do him dirty, because she's already said she's not that type of girl. So if Mimi's already explained it to Josh, he then don't need to go pull Joey for no conversation, because all Joey is going to do is make it worse, which is what he does. So Joey said, I have already said it isn't my place to say. And I was like, what? Come again? But you sat there in the challenge and made it your place to say something or indicate something that was going on behind Josh's and Jessica's back at the end of the day. So basically it was Joey's chance to right a wrong, and again Joey is playing the same old games, knowing full well that Joey is pissed by the situation that occurred because he was not aware of it. Yeah, Joey is purposefully making waves, and at this point I was kind of thinking to myself, I wonder how much Joey's getting paid to do this, because it was too obvious that this man is a plant in this place. Like seriously, it was too obvious. He didn't come in there with really like true intentions in terms of finding love. That's how I'm seeing it right now. How he's carrying on and how he's behaving and how he's literally keeps bringing a drama, stirring people up, makes me think that he is a plant in that villa. Like seriously, yous lot can, like, you know, tell me I'm wrong, but that's how I'm seeing it at the end of the day. So here it goes again, where Joey won't give Josh what he wants and wants to cause more issues with Josh because of how he felt about Josh making his decisions in the game. And I thought Joey is such a petty boy, and that's what I mean. He ain't a man, he's a boy. So basically, if Joey don't get his own way, he will literally shit on someone else's parade, and that's what he's doing with Josh. Joey will never learn, that his behaviour is actually pathetic, and it is full on jarring, to be fair. And I must say, he gets on my last nerve, to be real. I thought, you know what? Maybe he's changed at the beginning, then order button. I was like, yeah, nah, he's getting on my tits. Like, honestly, getting on my tits. So Josh is really trying to tell Joey how he did wrong by Mimi, by drawing her out in the game, and Joey is not getting it at all. And I just thought, at that point, you cannot reason with crazy, or you cannot reason with stupid, because at the end of the day, Joey is being deliberately obtuse. He's deliberately not getting this shit. Like, seriously. So Josh said, you cannot say you have loyalty to Mimi and then draw her out. So Joey said that he does have loyalty to Mimi, and that's why he was not telling Josh in detail what was said and what happened. And I was like, wait, what? Because nothing happened though. Like, seriously, nothing happened. And this is what I mean about Joey trying to cause fractions and divides in people's relationships. What he needs to do is go look at his own relationship at the end of the day and keep his nose and beak out of other people's. Anyway, that is where that episode ended. I'll be back in quick succession with the next episode. As I always ask, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so when you know I'm on and doing videos. Please comment, like, share and do all the good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1K. And I'll speak to you all again soon. Peace out.